I have an apology to make. I erroneously said during my run of Iceman stage that the floating diabolical platforms were inconspicuous. I meant to say innocuous. From the bottom of my heart, I truly apologize to all of the English majors in the audience. Mega Man, yes. So we've got Bomb Man here, and Bomb Man is a pretty good boss, pretty well-rounded, because unlike, say, Iceman, Fireman, he doesn't have a set pattern, and he does throw bombs and he does jump around. They can be a little bit tricky to dodge, but he's still easily dispatched if you have the right weapon, like all of the other bosses in this game. Here's what I want you to notice. You know how I've got the point total running at the top of the screen? Clear points for this stage, 60,000. Clear points for Iceman stage, 10,000 less. How is that fair? That stage was so much harder, even though I did better at it than this one. Oh well. Well, hey, Dr. Wily, clear points, 200,000. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, taxi over here. Look at that, a spaceship taxi. That's awesome. This guy is awesome. I would be wiggling my eyebrows if I had a spaceship taxi. So, at last, it's the approach to Dr. Wily's castle, or fortress, or tower, chateau? I'm not exactly sure what it is. We don't have a map in this game to show us the path through. But we're in Dr. Wily's front lawn, or back lawn, nonetheless, and one of the great ways to keep intruders out of your base is to pepper your lawn with the most difficult enemy in the game. Here we have these big eye characters that, when they jump on you, do a lot of damage, and are kind of embarrassing to get hit by over and over again when you think they're going to jump, but they're only going to do a little jump and you run straight into them. Well, if you freeze them with Iceman's weapon while they're in the air, because if they're on the ground they're invincible, you can take them out very easily. It's just a little bit tedious, you got to take the time to do it, but it's a great way to get through the section unharmed. And then once you're actually in the building, you can freeze these flame pillars with Iceman's weapon, saving the day once again. And this is a really tough spot to go through, because if you fire at the wrong time, maybe the pillars are too high, you need to wait for them to thaw out, and also there's the low ceiling to contend with that affects how you can jump. You need to be very precise about it. It can be tricky. Now, a word about special weapons. Use special weapons in the Dr. Wily stages. Hoo-ha! That is why you use special weapons. Of course, it is perfectly acceptable to go through the game using just your regular weapon, but if you find that you're having some difficulty, please do try out some special weapons. That's what they're there for, and it makes the game a bit more interesting. Now, if you're concerned that you're not going to have enough weapons energy to fight the boss at the end of the stage, fear not, you can get your weapons energy completely refilled if you get a game over. Not that I've ever gotten a game over, but know that, clearly. And speaking of game overs, it's my best friends in the whole world, except now there are spikes on the ceiling. Woohoo! And if you stand around on the platforms too long, they will very gradually take you up into the ceiling, and pop goes the Mega Man. Ugh. This is the room that I was alluding to in Elec Man stage that you need to have the magnet beam to get through. If you don't, you've got a game over and go back to Elec Man stage to take it. Now, if you have run out of weapons energy, you can always go back down to the previous screen and restock, because the neat thing about this game, the power-ups will respawn every time you leave the screen and return to it. This is one of the most iconic boss battles in Mega Man history. It's the Yellow Devil. Some people call him the Clay Golem or the Mud Man. Some people have their own choice four-letter words to describe him that I won't be repeating here, but no matter what you call him, he's one of the trickiest bosses that Mega Man has to offer. The trick to beating him, if you're the cheating type, is using that pause-resume trick I mentioned before, where you hit him with a Thunder Beam, and then pause and unpause over and over again to continually reapply the damage until he's very quickly dead. Well, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to prove to you that yes, you actually can beat him honestly. It's just a matter of memorizing his pattern, like the disappearing bricks. You need to be a little bit patient and just try over and over again. You see here, the other trick is to do short hops. A lot of people will just jump all the way up, but if you can master the little half jumps, you'll actually be able to have a shot at beating him and not getting smacked in the face every 5 seconds. Now, this was such a great, clever boss that Capcom said, we've got to reuse this, and so they did. The Clay Golem, Mudman, Yellow Devil, whatever you want to call him, appears in many different reincarnations over several future Mega Man games, some of them more clever than others, but what it all comes down to is that this is a great dead boss. I highly approve. And that's one more boss down, one step closer to finally going toe-to-toe with Dr. Wily. Okay, well, we're outside now. I'm not sure how we got outside. I must have missed the fire exit door. And we're fighting the helicopter enemies again. I say we because really you're playing vicariously through me right now. And these helicopter enemies aren't that big of a deal as long as you don't panic and jump around like crazy trying to hit them. You just let them come to you and they're not much of a problem. They're easily dispatched. What? Cutman? What is this guy doing here? I thought I scrapped him. Well, no matter. I fought him once and defeated him, and I'll fight him and defeat him again. Except this time I'm going to make sure my controls don't lock up. I'm not going to get tricked by this guy. Ah! Okay, hole in the floor. Well, I knew about that. I can't really feign surprise. One of the things that you'll notice in this stage is that, and actually in the Wily stages, you'll start to see a little bit of repetition where some of these places will seem eerily familiar. I don't know if that's a space limitation on the cartridge or what that was. Oh, Elec man, eh? Watch this. I almost didn't have to move. It's amazing the difference that a little bit of change in terrain makes when fighting the enemies. I love how all of a sudden Cutman, Elec man are really no more than mini-bosses or glorified stage enemies. They just sort of lost that oomph, that prestige of being the end of the stage boss. They're just small fries now. I love it. Check this out. This is one of the few times in the entire game and the last time where Hyper Bomb is useful at all. And really, I could have used a lot of other weapons there, but I figured I'd try and show just a little bit of love to that poor, unloved, underused, underprivileged weapon. They could have done a little bit more with it, but oh well. Back to Elec Beam for me. Yep, the all-powerful weapon saves the day once again. A lot of weapons are saving the day today, but what I like about this particular section of Wily's lair is that, well, I love that, all the power-ups showering on my head. Oh, it's beautiful. But I love that it's a vertical level, once again, like Elec Man stage, except this time we're going down instead of up. And it's close quarters fighting, so it makes it even more necessary for you to either have spectacular aim or use special weapons. In this case, I should have followed my own advice and used special weapons because my aim was a little bit off and I got hit. Oh well, I look like a doofus sometimes, that's how it goes. But it's still a great stage because it changes the flow of things. It's not all horizontal. It gives the designers a chance to do things with the level that they don't always get a chance to do.